Let's cut the bullshit out right now. We all know we should exercise. We've heard it a million fucking times. So why are most of us still sitting on our asses feeling like garbage and hating ourselves for it? Because we've been fed a massive lie about what exercise actually does. The entire fitness industry wants you obsessed with how you look. Smaller waist, bigger muscles, visible abs, because insecurity sells products. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. The most powerful benefits of moving your body have jack shit to do with how you look. The real magic is happening in your brain chemistry, rewiring how you handle stress, anxiety, and depression long before your body changes one damn bit. I spent 7 years battling anxiety that made me feel like I was dying. Tried every pill, meditation app, and wellness trend. Nothing worked until I accidentally started moving my body consistently. Not because I suddenly found motivation or discipline. Fuck those concepts, by the way, but because I learned what brain scientists have known for decades. Movement rebuilds your brain before it ever changes your body. The fitness industry is a $33 billion scam built on making you feel like shit about yourself. Their playbook is simple and evil. First, make you hate how you look. Second, sell you exercises that as a fix for that hate. Third, blame you when their unrealistic promises don't deliver. Rinse and repeat until you're broke and still hating yourself. What pisses me off is how we've been brainwashed to see exercise as just a weight loss tool when that's actually its slowest, least reliable benefit. The brain benefits, the ones that could save your life during dark times, kick in within 20 minutes of moving and build with consistency. But you don't see that in those before and after photos because you can't take a selfie with your improved brain chemistry. Here's the truth in numbers. Harvard found that regular exercise cuts depression risk by 26%. That's as good as some prescription drugs. But fitness influencers won't sell you that because get a slightly better functioning brain doesn't sell as many protein powders as get shredded abs in 30 days. And don't get me started on the bullshit gender split in fitness marketing. Women get told to shrink themselves through endless cardio and toning, whatever the fuck that means. Men get pushed into to bulk up and lift heavier, and both messages create permanent dissatisfaction while completely missing what actually matters. Your brain doesn't give a shit about your gender or what section of the gym you're in. It just needs you to move. What happens in your brain when you move is fucking incredible, and we've dumbed it down to you get endorphins. Like, that explains everything. Let me tell you what's actually happening, because once you understand it, you'll never skip movement again. Within 20 minutes of getting off your ass and moving, even just a brisk walk, your brain pumps out norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. These are the same exact brain chemicals that antidepressants try to increase. But exercise does something meds can't. It also releases BDNF, which scientists literally call miracle grow for the brain. This shit builds new brain cells and strengthens connections, especially in the hippocampus, the exact part that stress and depression damage the most. When Harvard put people in brain scanners, they found that regular exercisers had bigger hippocampuses than sedentary people. This isn't some metaphor or feel-good bullshit. Movement is literally rebuilding the physical parts of your brain that stress destroys. Your body can't tell the difference between the stress of your shitty job and the stress of being chased down by a bear. Both flood you with cortisol and adrenaline. But here's the critical difference. Exercise is the only type of stress that completes what scientists call the stress cycle. When you move hard, your body gets the signal that you've escaped danger. So your system can chill the fuck out instead of staying in fight or flight mode. The wildest part, these changes start happening long before you lose a single pound or gain any muscle. Researchers found that just 3 30-minute movement sessions a week can cut depression symptoms almost in half after 12 weeks, before people's bodies changed in any visible way. If we could see the changes happening inside when someone starts moving regularly, we'd be mind blown. Here's the timeline that nobody talks about. The first week, right after moving, your brain gets a quick hit of dopamine and serotonin that lasts 2 to 3 hours. You fall asleep about 7 minutes faster, though you might not even notice it at first. You'll just feel a little less shitty for a while after moving. And weeks 2 to 3, your nervous system starts getting its shit together. Your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, stops freaking out over every little thing. Small annoyances that used to ruin your whole day now just bounce off of you. Your heart rhythm gets more stable, showing your nervous system is regulating itself better. In weeks 4 to 6, this is when the serious brain changes kick in. New brain cells start growing in your hippocampus, improving your memory and ability to handle emotions. Your thinking gets about 23% more clear, and you'll feel this as having more mental space and having fewer racing thoughts that won't shut the fuck up. By week 7 to 12, by now, the brain scans would show visible changes. The rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets better at communicating with the emotional parts. This means you can feel strong emotions without being completely hijacked by them. You can be sad without spiraling into depression, or anxious without panicking. This hidden timeline explains why so many people quit moving before they get their best benefits. When we're expecting visible body changes, but don't recognize or value the brain changes, we miss the whole fucking point. The ripple effects of regular movement go way beyond what most doctors even understand. The coolest part to me is how pushing against physical resistance, weights, gravity, whatever, makes your mind more flexible. Each time you push through a temporary physical discomfort, you're teaching your brain that discomfort isn't dangerous. This transforms how you handle everything from social anxiety to work stress. Every time you move your body, especially when you really don't feel like it, you're strengthening the part of your brain that believes you have control over your life. This sense of control is exactly what depression strips away. Movement gives it back, bit by fucking bit. Sleep and movement create this cycle that can either help or screw you. Shitty sleep makes movement harder. Not moving enough makes sleep worse. But the reverse is also true. Even modest, consistent movement improves sleep quality by 65%. Better sleep then balances your stress hormones, which gives you more energy during the day, which makes movement easier. It's a cycle that can either work for you or against you. Here's something weird but true. Regular movers feel like they have more time, not less, even though exercise technically takes up time. When researchers asked people about feeling rushed and time-starved, regular exercisers reported 24% less time anxiety. This happens because movement makes your brain process information more efficiently, so everything else takes less mental effort. Let's turn all this brain science into practical shit that works for real humans with messy lives. Forget motivation, forget discipline. They're unreliable and completely unnecessary when you understand how habits actually form. First, the minimum effective dose. Researchers found that just 4 fucking minutes of movement, 240 seconds, is enough to start the cascade of mood-enhancing brain chemicals. Stop waiting until you have 45 minutes for a proper workout. 4 minutes for squats, jumping jacks, or dancing like an idiot in your bedroom will kickstart the brain chemistry that breaks an anxiety spiral. Second, the don't trust future you method. Don't make the decision to make when it's time to move. You almost always choose the couch. Instead, set up what scientists call implementation intentions. Simple if-then plans, like if it's Monday morning, then I put on my workout clothes before I even look at my phone. This bypasses the part of your brain that takes you out of the shit that's good for you. Third, make your environment do the work. Willpower isn't a character trait. It's a resource that gets drained by every decision. People who have had to walk past their exercise stuff to reach their TV were 62% more likely to exercise than those who had their gear tucked away. Make movement the path of least resistance in your physical space. Laziness can actually work in your favor here. Fourth, identity over goals. People who say I'm a person who moves regularly are 32% more consistent than people who say I need to exercise. After moving, try saying to yourself, I'm becoming someone who takes care of their mental health through movement. It sounds like woo-woo bullshit, but it works because your brain acts in ways that matches your identity. Fifth, recovery isn't optional, it's the whole fucking point. The no pain, no gain mentality is toxic garbage. Exercise stresses your system so that it can recover stronger, both physically and mentally. If you're not recovering, you're not getting the mental benefits. Make recovery as important as movement through quality sleep, hot cold therapy like ending showers with cold water, and deep breathing to calm your nervous system. The hierarchy we've created between different types of movement is complete bullshit. We've been brainwashed to believe that certain exercises count while others don't, causing many people to do nothing if they can't do the right kind of exercises. Let me be crystal fucking clear. Your nervous system responds positively to all forms of movement. Research found that gardening produced similar increases in feel-good brain chemicals as moderate cardio. Walking, especially in nature, calms the part of your brain responsible for negative thought loops, just as effectively as meditation for many people. The movement that will transform your mental health isn't what some fitness influencer with perfect lighting recommends. It's the one that you'll actually do consistently. For some, that's weightlifting or running. For others, it's dancing, martial arts, or aggressive house cleaning. The brain benefits happen with all forms of movement. Movement snacks, short bursts of activity throughout the day are game changers for mental health. Researchers found that 8 to 20-second high-intensity bursts spread throughout the day improve the mood regulation as well as 30-minute workout sessions. Plus, it breaks up long periods of sitting, which independently contribute to depression risk. Here's the 5-phase approach that's worked for hundreds of people who thought they were too depressed or too anxious to move consistently. Phase 1, the brain first mindset. This takes place between days 1 and 14. Stop thinking of movement as exercise and start seeing it as brain medicine. Rate your mood from 1 to 10 before moving, then 20 minutes after. This creates a clear connection between movement and how you feel. During this phase, don't track calories, steps, heart rate, or any other fitness metric. Just track the mood change. Phase 2, the so easy it's almost embarrassing threshold. It takes place between weeks 3 to 4. Figure out your absolute minimum daily movement. Something so ridiculously achievable you can do it on your worst day. For some people, this has been as simple as putting on workout clothes or do 5 jumping jacks. The magic happens when you never break the chain of showing up, even if showing up is pathetically minimal. Phase 3, remove every fucking obstacle. This takes place between weeks 5 and 6. Eliminate every barrier between you and movement. Lay out clothes before bed, schedule movement for when your energy is naturally highest. For 80% of people, that's from 7 to 10 a.m. or from 4 to 7 p.m. Create a dedicated space that's always ready. Delete social media apps that make you feel shitty about your fitness. Phase 4, get your ass some accountability. And this takes place between 7 to 10 weeks. Movement done with others, even virtually, increases consistency by nearly 300%. Find your movement people, whether that's a running group, a virtual class, or just a friend who texts you when they moved for the day as well. Social accountability taps into our tribal brain in ways that bypass our modern resistances. Phase 5, focus on getting better, not looking better. Once you're consistent, focus on developing specific movement skills rather than aesthetic goals. Learning physical skills, whether that's mastering push-ups, improving running form, or increasing flexibility, activates the same reward pathways in your brain as learning an instrument or language, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of motivation. I'm not claiming movement will fix every fucking mental health problem. Serious conditions need professional help, often including therapy and medication. What I am saying is that movement is the most underutilized, scientifically proven tool we have for changing how our brains respond to the modern world. Imagine your life 6 months from now if anxiety has dropped by 40%, or if it has less grip on your daily thoughts in general. If you bounced back from stress twice as fast, if your sleep was 65% deeper, if your focus lasted 32% longer, if your mood swings were cut almost in half. All these benefits come from consistent movement, and none require visible physical changes to your body. The most powerful form of self-care isn't buying expensive shit or following complicated rituals. It's the simple decision to move your body through space, telling your ancient brain that you're alive, capable, and in control. It's the daily choice to treat movement not as a punishment for what you ate or how you look, but as a celebration for what your body and brain can do together. The real transformation isn't about changing how you look in the mirror. It's about changing how it feels to live in your skin. And maybe that's the journey actually worth showing up for, day after day, step after step. Building not just a different body, but a different brain, and through it, a completely different experience of being alive.